Guys, I want to, as we turn the calendar in here, the last few weeks of the season, we've got awards coming down the pike. Teams are going to try to win their conference titles, make it into BCS games. I'm going to go old school on you guys. Let's play a little speed rush. I want to put 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. I'm going to bring up a topic to each guy. You'll have the opportunity to make your answer, and each of you will be granted one timeout if you want.
You're wasting our time.
I've got to explain to the people what we're doing. Mark, get started. James Laurinaitis on the Lombardi finalist list. George Selby's not. Is that fair?
No, it's not fair. The problem is with a Lombardi, you have to play within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Laurinaitis is a middle linebacker, plays off the line of scrimmage. Selby has 13.5 sacks, 27.5 tackles for losses, the best in the nation. The bottom line is George Selby should be on the list. The people that vote for these awards, do your job. Just because he wasn't on the watch list doesn't mean you can't write his name in.
Lou, will the Heisman ever go to a defensive player?
Absolutely. Right after it goes to a third team, there's no way a defensive player is going to get it. It's for the skilled people.
Skilled people? I don't know.
Are you calling a timeout?
I'm calling a timeout.
Okay.
Offensive linemen are skilled. James Laurinaitis is skilled. He shouldn't be up for the Lombardi Trophy, but he could be up for the Heisman Trophy. He's the best defensive player in the land.
He might be the best defensive player in the land. He's not the best player. It's going to go to an offensive player. Only Leon Hart was the only non-skilled player to ever win it.
It goes to the most outstanding player. Not the
you
most
didn't win it, don't be bitter.
All right, here we go. I'm going to roll that clock again. Mark, Hawaii could run the table and not get a sniff of playing for the title. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's all right with me because of their schedule. It's a weak schedule. I don't think that Hawaii will run the table. They're going to struggle against Fresno State, probably lose to Boise, and they'll probably lose to Washington. This is a team, if they do go undefeated, they should go to a BCS bowl game, but not the BCS championship game.
All right, Lou, LSU, assuming it makes it to the SEC championship game, could face a power team from the SEC East. Most of Oregon's big-time heavy-hitting
Wait a minute. Time out on you. There's no power team from the SEC East.
Stop it already. I said could. Georgia. How about Georgia finishes with 2 losses? Well, what do you think about that?
I know why we haven't done this for a while. That's up to each of the conferences. I feel this way. If the Pac-10 doesn't want it and Oregon's going to play 3 unranked teams, that's their problem. I don't think you can punish LSU because they're going to play in a championship game. If LSU runs the table from here on out, they'll play in the championship game.
And all you Georgia fans, send your cards and letters to Mark May if they finish with only 2 losses. Mark, Tommy Tuberville on the list at Texas A&M, assuming that what's expected happens and Dennis Franchione is removed. Will he handle A&M's interest better than Nick Saban handled Alabama's interest?
Well, probably about the same, because the bottom line is he's going to get a lot more money when this is over, whether he stays at Auburn or he goes to Texas A&M, but I think he should go to Texas A&M. The reason why, the last time he was in a position close to this, they tried to undermine him. They tried to bring in Bobby Petrino to take his job. What you should do right now, Tommy, is stick it to those alumni that try to get rid of you. Go to Texas A&M and take the cash.
But remember, there's a new athletic director there now, new power structure.
First of all, you better beat Alabama.
You calling timeout?
No, I don't have timeout.
All right.
I'm going for 2, though.
15 seconds. Spurrier says Tim Tebow's the quarterback of the future. You want your quarterback running the ball 15 times a game?
Not my quarterback, but I want Tebow running 15 different times. Let me tell you, you cannot stop a running quarterback that can also throw, and Steve Spurrier find that out right now. Last year when he had Savell Newton, it presented a different problem to the defense.
You know what? Lou, I think, went home with a timeout in his pocket.
Well, I want to go for 2, but I can't. Every time I go to say something, the guy here on my left,
go for 2. Like last night.
He's wound up.
But, those are great questions that I wished I would have had more time to delve into it.
Well, Coach, that's why
you want to hit? I've got a little time.
Because there's no way in this world he could possibly put a defensive player in the same breath as the Heisman. That's why you have the Jim Thorpe Award, the Lombardi Award, the Outland, all those other things. That's for
it says the
like
most
you,
outstanding player, not the most outstanding offensive skill player. It's the most outstanding player.
Do you believe you deserved it when you played?
Of course not. But I believe James Laurinaitis is the best defensive player in the country and one of the best players in the country.
I've got a better question for you. When you played, do you believe Hugh Green deserved it?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And George Rogers, I told him the night we played him in the Gator Bowl, and we whooped up on South Carolina.
You might have told George Williams on the phone, but you wouldn't tell him in person.
George.
George might have me outweighed right now.
George. Yeah, George does.
Hey, we got a great Big East game coming up. Louisville hoping it really can turn its season around if they could go into Morgantown and beat the Mountaineers, the mustard-clad Mountaineers tonight. What are you looking for in this one, Mark?
Great defense by West Virginia. Everybody talks about about their offense. They're only giving up 14.9 points per game defensively, creating turnovers, getting to the quarterback, that 3-3-5 defense. Jeff Castile has done an outstanding job. The number 4 pass defense. Brian Brom's gonna struggle against this defense tonight, especially playing in Morgantown. I played there. It's a tough crowd. You get every nickel's worth when you go to Morgantown from those fans. It is a great environment to play, and it's got to be tough on Louisville, but it's the West Virginia defense that will set the tone for the Mountaineers tonight.
No, I think the key about their defense, and I ran the 3-3-5, and it's an excellent defense. If your cornerbacks can match up one-on-one with the receivers. The key to this game, Brian Brom can throw the football. Can the receivers beat the cornerbacks from West Virginia? If they can, it'll be a high-scoring game, because there's no way in this world Louisville is ever going to hold them down to under 35.
You know, when the Big East schedule came out in the summer and you had a look at what was ahead, you thought that this game might decide the Big East championship. But 2 weeks from Saturday, UConn's going to come into Morgantown. Do you expect the Huskies to arrive there still with the opportunity to win the Big East?
No, not at all. I think they lose against Cincinnati because they're playing on the road and they're not going to get this great officiating they've been getting at home, and the wind and the rain. They are a very good football team. Randy Edsall's done a fabulous job, but I think heads up against West Virginia in Morgantown, they don't win that game and they lose against Cincinnati this week.
You know what might happen? They might go into Morgantown with it already wrapped up. Let's say West Virginia gets beat again and Connecticut wins, which I expect them to do against Cincinnati. They will go in there with a 2-game lead, and they may end up in a BCS game.
What state were you born in?
I was born in West Virginia.
All the cards and letters go to Lou Holtz, not Mark Beck.
I was proud to be born in West Virginia, but I was raised in Ohio because when my dad won an award to defend your right to make these stupid comments, I then moved to Ohio to live with my mother's parents.
There are plenty of people on hand in Morgantown, not only just fans of the game, but people who are there to do some evaluating. 14 NFL scouts watching the likes of Brian Brom, Steve Slayton. You'll be able to see the Cardinals and the Mountaineers. It is coming up momentarily.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by the Fruit of the Loom Casual Sportswear Collection and American Gangster, starring Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe.
Here's my dream for this great land, comfort for all in tanks and sweatbands, a world without labels would set us free, no ties or heels from sea to shining sea. This is how I live, this is how I'm real, this is how I love, this is how I feel.
I ain't running from nobody. This is America.
American Gangster, rated R, now playing.
What's the difference between having fun and having none? The Midas Touch Maintenance Package. An oil change, tire rotation, and 45-point courtesy check. Just $29.95. Be safe.
Trust the Midas Touch.
The following presentation is rated A.
In the Big East, this has been a marquee matchup. 2 years ago, the Mountaineers rallied from a 17-point deficit in the fourth quarter and conquered the Cardinals in 3 overtimes. In the 06 sequel, it was Louisville surviving a shootout, storming the field, paving the path to a BCS Bowl. Tonight's third edition features familiar stars, Pat White of West Virginia, his speedy sidekick, Steve Slayton, all directed by the maestro, Rich Rodriguez. Starring for Louisville, Brian Brom having his best year. He's directed by a first-year boss, Steve Cragthorpe. Louisville versus West Virginia, coming to a theater near you now. And welcome back to Morgantown as the flashbulbs glitter around Mountaineer Field. Here come the gold-clad Mountaineers. Back in '69, there were all gold uniforms on the road, but this is a first, and the fans showing their unity, also dressed in gold. Most of this sellout crowd here in Morgantown on a crisp November evening. Chris Fowler, Doug Flutie, Craig James, and Aaron Arias welcome you to what we hope is going to be a very entertaining Big East game. Certainly a lot at stake for the Mountaineers. Temperatures 40 degrees. It'll dip into the 30s, but no precipitation at this point that had been feared in the last 24 hours. That's good news for the offenses.
Well, that's because yesterday there were snow flurries, little spits of snow coming down, and so at first you thought they might have an impact on the game, but now it's not. This is the first year for Steve Cragthorpe. He was the boss at Tulsa. Hasn't been very successful, 5-4, but his team has played better on the road. Their biggest win of the season was at Cincinnati when the Bearcats were undefeated and ranked number 15. The Mountaineers very, very tough to beat, though, in Morgantown under Rich Rodriguez, especially. They have not lost a night home game. And this place, as Mark May said, can be plenty hostile. Dougie, you played here in Morgantown as a visitor. You know what he was talking about.
Yes, I have. I ran into an old foe down on the sideline. I was 0-2 here in Morgantown. Guy, Tim Agee, who happened to pick off 5 passes in 3 years against me, and 4 of them here.
We talked about that epic game in '06. The scene was Papa John Stadium in Louisville in early November. Louisville ranked number 5, and Malik Jackson is here tonight. He would make a key fumble recovery for a touchdown. There's also a 40-yard punt return by Trent Guy, who's the returner for the Cardinals tonight. They got 2 non-offensive touchdowns. You saw the injury to Slayton. That was key, as he had a couple of fumbles. Cardinals didn't really stop the Mountaineer offense, but turnovers and special teams touchdowns and enough good play from Brian Brom, and they had a key win. Well, and you know what? The turnovers were critical in that game, and it was one of those games where Steve Slayton's had it in the back of his head now for a while, wanting to have a chance at redemption, and you can't turn the ball over and give it back to Brian Brom.
But at times, it's the only way to stop this West Virginia offense is hope they make the mistake and turn the ball over, put it on the ground, make the bad decision. Pat White has only thrown 2 interceptions this year, so that doesn't happen very often. And White was knocked out of their one loss that was at USF, and guys, they had 6 of their 11 turnovers all year, 6 in that game.
I really felt like that South Florida played at a different speed. And in this game tonight, for Louisville, particularly on defense, they've got to play fast, and they can't allow themselves to sit back and let Pat White and Slayton get going, or they'll never catch them.
Yeah, we'll see if the Louisville offense can stake their team to a lead. The Cardinals will get the ball to open this game. And the crowd in the all gold ready to go. And there is Brom, the senior. Had pretty sparkling stats despite the struggles of his defense and his team. 26 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. But it'll be a tough environment tonight against, as Mark May pointed out, a very improved West Virginia defense. And this is Trent Guy. He had the return of the punt for a touchdown a year ago against the Mountaineers, but excellent coverage. Flying down is Charles Pugh, and the Cardinals will start at about their own 15-yard line. Braun decided to come back for his senior year. He told us no regrets, even though the team goals for the Cardinals will not be met. He has played well, and he showed scouts what he's about.
And I think you can learn a lot more about a guy when he's down and the adversity that he's had to overcome this year to keep this football team alive.
He showed his leadership throughout this whole thing, and his numbers don't fade at all, and he picks it up actually, and it's on his shoulders tonight to drive this team up and down the field and keep up with West Virginia.
Crowd on its feet and roaring in the first play of the game for the Cardinals. It's a play action fake. Brom fires near side, a very short completion, and fighting up toward the first down marker is Gary Barnage, the tight end, making his 42nd catch of the season. It's a team effort to introduce you to the Louisville offense tonight.
Starting up front with our Hogs, we have our center, Eric Woody the Woodpecker Wood.
For the Cardinals, it's a definition of a fast break offense. Quarterback Brian Brom provides a give, and the most underrated wide receiver in the country, Harry Douglas, provides a go.
Rick Pitino has been very supportive of Cragthorpe and his struggles in his first season. They do pick up the first down, and now it's Brock Bolin powering ahead. So Bolin, part of that running back rotation, as basketball coach Bob Huggins gets equal time to introduce you to the defense.
Anchoring the defensive line is Big Keelan Dykes and sack leader Johnny Dingle. And from my hometown of Morgantown, at linebacker Mark Magro. Defensive backs are led by Ryan Monday and Eric Wicks.
Only allowing 262 yards, but Louisville a couple of quality plays in the early going here. Sets up a 2nd and 3. Braun, pressure up the middle, fires, incomplete. He was trying to find his top target, Harry Douglas, but good pressure from Dykes and Dingle.
Jeff Castile, defensive coordinator at West Virginia, really wants to find a way to force Braun to move his feet in the pocket. And if they can put pressure with 4 up front, then they'll have a good night defensively.
Yeah, the trick is out of that defense, 3-3-5, where's the extra rusher coming from? And from an offensive standpoint, picking up those guys, it's hard to decipher sometimes the looks.
Brom's been pretty well protected, only sacked 14 times this season. 3rd and 3. They hand it to Bolin, who's tripped up across the 35. I don't think they're going to give him yardage on the spot. Morty Ivy, the linebacker with the tackle. They'll be short. They're calling for a measurement. That didn't really seem necessary.
It was an encouraging beginning to this drive. Nice plays. The one running play on a cutback was very well blocked.
They've had trouble running the ball the last few games, guys. That's made it harder for Brom. They've had under 400 yards total offense in back-to-back games against Connecticut and Pittsburgh. That's the first time that it happened under Brom. And one of the reasons they're not running it well, and they didn't get it that time.
There you go. They're not running it real well. They're not having great vision by their backs. Offensive line's not bad. Watching them on tape, watching them play, they do a pretty nice, good job. But the backs, at times, not really using their eyes and their vision to find the holes.
Corey Getchie on to punt. This is Vaughn Rivers, the dangerous returner for the Mountaineers, who will win the special teams battle tonight. Edge went to the Cardinals in last year's meeting, and that was important in their home field victory. Rivers 12.1, very respectable average. Mountaineers peel back, try to set up a return. Pretty good kick from Getchie. And Rivers hammered, hit instantly. And West Virginia will set up inside their 20-yard line as Pat White brings the offense out for the first time tonight. White's been doing the majority of the running as well as the throwing. They haven't had as many touches for Slayton, and White's been active. That's what the defense has been giving them.
That's right, because the defense are going to take the ball out of one of the quarterback or the pitchback's hands, and they're thinking that maybe defensively you would rather have Pat White running it, and he's done a nice job with it on the ground.
I think the stat that stands out there is 70% passing the ball this year. He's been exceptional in both categories.
1 for 656 as well, 6.8 per rushing attempt. You see Steve Slayton, White's buddy, lined up to his right. And it's a throw too high for Darius Raynon. And Huggins, like Rodriguez, a West Virginia alum, back with the offense.
Point guard of the offense is Pat White. Behind him, Steve Slayton, a guy I'd love to have on the front of the press. And Owen Schmidt, a big, tough guy, could definitely guard the post. Paving the way for them up front is Ryan Stanchek and Greg Isden.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Owen Schmidt and Slayton change positions. This is Slayton. Flag flies after a short loss on the play. Slayton hasn't had the kind of stats he had a year ago. And chop block called on the Mountaineers. That came from left field, that flag.
You don't see that very often, though, and that's one of those that coaches really watch and try to stress to the ref before the game. Watch out for it.
Illegal block, below the waist. Number 83 on the offense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal from the line of scrimmage. Repeat the down.
They got the receiver, Tito Gonzalez. And they'll move the ball back inside the 10.
Louisville committed 9 guys to the run there. It was no free safety in the middle of the field. Everyone up near the line of scrimmage. They're going to force Pat White to throw the football.
There's a penalty.
Should be an outside-in block. Yep. Coming from outside in, you cannot go below the waist.
2nd and 19. White stays in the pocket, throws downfield. Raynon battling for the football, intercepted. Intercepted by Deion Palmer. So they test the Cardinals deep with their top receiver, Raynon, but Deion Palmer with his first pick of the season.
Well, Louisville decided to go with the nickel package to start this football game, and they really wanted to come up and force the issue to see if they couldn't get a throw down the field. And then a great job of Palmer of taking the football out of the air.
Palmer was just one-on-one all the way down the field. No safety help. Gets his head around to find the football. Pretty amazing catch.
Wait a second.
Because he turns his head
did the ball hit
at the last second.
Did it hit the ground, though?
He didn't catch the ball cleanly, but I don't know if it hit the ground up.
Wait a second. Here come the officials now. Just before the Cardinals could snap the ball, which would have taken the replay out of play, they will take a look at this.
We got to get Fowler a red flag up here.
Well, that was late to the field. I mean, the guy.
Watch the ball carefully.
Yeah, that's ground. That's not an interception.
That would be a little help from the ground, from the green stuff.
Louisville know it. They ran out there quickly, and whenever you do that, it just seems like the officials are going to blow the whistle just on principle. Well, wait a second. Not so fast, my friends.
Sending up that flare that something's going on.
But, you know, the strategy, though, of Louisville's defense to come out in this game, you're going to be up bunched in the box, but having an extra defensive back there in case Pat White throws the ball down the field, that ball clearly bounces on the grass.
I don't know. We've been wrong before trying to judge what the replay officials would do on a Thursday night. This is the better angle here. Yeah, and it does appear clearly they hit the ground.
Well, we know what we see.
We're always clear up here. We doesn't always match with the booth next door.
Yeah, it's leather.
If the call is overturned, it'll be 3rd and 19 for the Mountaineers, still back inside their 10.
Again, though, 2 out of those 3 first offensive plays for West Virginia, the Louisville defense had no safety in the middle of the field, and they're taking their chances with the speed of the West Virginia receivers.
They're inviting the throw. They feel like with that extra back there that they can match up and try to take some opportunities away from Pat White.
Here you see Palmer. He's the senior from Thompson, Georgia.
The ruling on the field is reversed. The ball hit the ground. There's an incomplete pass. It will be 3rd down at the 9-yard line.
So what would have been Pat White's 3rd interception of the season is nullified. They almost got away with it, but just before they ran that offensive play, the whistle.
Nice night here. All yellow, gold
rush.
What's your verdict on the all yellow or all gold uniforms? A little bright for you?
It's there. It's loud.
You know, Rodriguez has a group called the 12 Apostles. It's a kind of a players' council, and he always asks them, what do you guys want to wear? And they said, let's go all gold for this one. And Louisville had the blackout for their crowd a year ago in the meeting. So, 3rd and 19. Empty backfield, 5 receivers for White. He dumps it off short. This is Slayton. And a short game. Slayton's good at making guys miss, but he would have had to make 4 or 5 miss to get that first down. Malik Jackson, Whitney Turin on the stop.
Nice start by Louisville's defense just to get them off the field. You know, this is every series that Louisville's defense can go out and force a punt is a bonus for Brian Brom.
That's a win. We're getting the ball back. We're getting the ball back to our offense and keeping their offense on the sideline.
The illegal block, of course, the key play in that series. And here comes Pat McAfee, the junior punter, who also does the place kicking and the kicking off. And back deep is Trent Guy. Guy took that punt back for a touchdown, 40 yards in last year's meeting. Rugby punt from McAfee, who booms this one out of bounds. That's taken just inbounds by Guy, who tries to get the corner. And what a job by McAfee and the coverage team. Wow. Number 40 does his job. And not very good field position for Brom and the Cardinals when you come back.
Circuit City's Drive to 65 is going on now. We're grand opening 65 new stores nationwide. And to celebrate, we're giving away a Mazda CX-9 every single day for 30 days, plus other incredible prizes. Ask a Circuit City expert for a game piece today for your chance to win a new 7-passenger Mazda CX-9. Winner of the 2008 Motor Trend Sport Utility of the Year Award. And right now at Circuit City, get no interest for 24 months on TVs $4.99 and up with a Circuit City credit card. Don't miss Circuit City's Drive to 65.
One man will master time to become the ultimate weapon. Time Shift. Available now. Rated mature.
Wish for the new Dell Inspiron 1520, powered by Intel Centrino Duo processor technology. Dell, yours is here.
So, what kind of financial help are you looking for? Maybe you need insurance to help protect you. Benefits to help your business reach new heights. Or a retirement plan to invest for the future. Then again, maybe there's someone who can help with all of those things. The Principal Financial Group will give you an edge.
Honey, what do you say we invite my parents to visit for the holidays? Yes! Great. And maybe we can fix up the house some. All right! Yeah, a new vanity in the guest bathroom, a new chandelier, new area rug, and maybe we can paint the walls a nice ochre.
Oh, come on!
Okay, it doesn't have to be ochre.
Now through Monday, you can get no payments, no interest until January 2009 on store-wide purchases of $2.99 or more with your Home Depot consumer credit card.
Tomorrow, critics are raving about Lions for Lambs. You must see this film. It's an astounding political thriller.
We need to break the enemy now.
You won't be able to turn away. Lions for Lambs, rated R, tomorrow.
This game being broadcast on ESPN HD, presented by Pioneer Kuro. Festive atmosphere here in Morgantown, West Virginia, what's become a really good series in the Big East. This is the third year in the conference for Louisville, but already Mountaineer fans have built up a healthy dislike for the guys from the Ville. Anthony Allen, who's been struggling lately, is the tailback. Brom fakes it to him on first out, fires complete. And we expect this guy to be very busy tonight. Harry Douglas, the senior. Guy who's caught now 158 passes in his career, 56 on the season. That one good for 17 yards. Douglas has had a great year, Doug. You saw that on tape today.
Watching some film on him today, and his releases off the line of scrimmage, his speed and quickness in and out of cuts. He's a very reliable guy with great hands as well as the speed. He really impressed me.
He's now caught a pass in 23 consecutive games. He's third in the nation, by the way, in yards per game. This time they fake the pass and hand it off to Anthony Allen for a very short gain. And he's a sophomore from Tampa who's struggled in the last few games to get anything going on the ground.
You start looking at Brom's numbers as a starter. I think the leadership clearly there. The 67 touchdown passes indicative of the way he can find a way to get his team in the end zone. And
just watching him throw that last ball to Douglas, he turned it loose. Douglas was open. A lot of quarterbacks would just give it to him. He went ahead and snapped it and gave it to him in a hurry. Just very confident in his throws.
Mario Urrutia, number 7 in the ballgame at the bottom of your screen on 2nd and 9. Brom fires to the left and misfires over the head of Douglas.
This is a problem here. Louisville went in, they scouted themselves. They did the self-scout. And when they talked about what was happening on first down, they've been very poor. They have success throwing the ball on the first down, but they can't run it. This series here, this next set of downs here, they had a first down run, no success. Now they're behind schedule. They have to throw the ball.
Here comes the noise on 3rd and 9. Tight end Barnage at the top of the formation. 3 receivers to work with. Allen is the tailback. Pressure from the outside. Brom steps up complete. but being pulled down short of the first down yardage is the ball loose. They're saying no fumble. They'll spot it at the 45, though, again, a yard short of the first down. J.T. Thomas on the stop. Second time the Cardinals coming up just a little bit short of that yellow line.
To carry on a little bit about that first down and how important it is to this Louisville football team. When they're scouting themselves at 3rd and 6 or less, they're 50% on third down conversions. When it's 3rd and 9 or more, they're only 27%. You know, I mean, just not being able to convert third downs has been a problem when it's more than 3rd and 6.
Rivers back to receive the Getchy punt. Calls a fair catch at the 22-yard line. No shootout so far. Both defenses doing their job. Still early in the first quarter in Morgantown.
That's how you carry on a friendship, baby? With your thumbs? Of course it ain't my business.
Well, if it ain't your business, why you all up in mine?
Because you people need to get eyeball to eyeball over the flavors that bring people together. Applebee's new Steakhouse Classics. You choose from 3 of their best steaks, any 2 sides, plus a topping.
Can everyone hear you, or is it just me?
Talk to your buddies. Applebee's. Get it together, baby.
What if we took a moment to rethink our priorities? What if we rethink power and what it means to be strong? What if we rethink beauty and what it means to truly interact? At Saturn, we chose to rethink things, starting with every car we sell. With 5 totally new models and a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. We may just be a car company, but we're rethinking what a car company can be. Just something to rethink about.
The next time you want a clean, comfortable shave, change heads.
Wow. There's a good-looking face. Hey, guys.
Introducing the Remington Clean Exchange, the only electric shaver featuring a disposable head you never have to clean, and 2 nano silver foils that reduce irritation. The Remington Clean Exchange.
Honey.
Want a better shave? Change heads. Clean Exchange from Remington. First name in shaving.
ESPN's College Football Primetime is presented by Applebee's. Together is good. And in part by Saturn. With 5 totally new models, it's just something to rethink about. Saturn. And Clean Exchange, the only electric shaver with a disposable head. Clean Exchange, new from Remington.
That's a good way to beat the traffic. There's a lot of congestion going to Mountaineer Field. You can take a little personal mass transit.
You mean while we stood?
That's actually more on personal mass transit.
We sat in traffic.
Trains, yeah.
Yesterday, and we watched that little thing go by.
Yeah. The first 3 plays of the game from West Virginia, all passes. This will be the first run of the night. White keeps it, steps up very quickly, picks up about 4. Lamar Miles on the stop.
The guy's quick. I'm telling you, man, it's a different gear. And Louisville's real challenge is trying to step up quickly and recognize and make the proper adjustments with the angles to the tackle, because you can't simulate it in practice with your scout team.
Well, it's assignment football. You got to be in the right place at the right time, and then you have to make the tackle on guys like White and Slayton in space.
A throw on 2nd and 7. Flip it out in space, and Brandon Hogan, one of the talented newcomers, the freshman, takes it out near the 44, a first down, as Patino and Earl Heyman, the tackle combo on the defensive lineups.
Starting off with the G unit, we have myself, Earl Heyman.
The PTP are in the linebacker Lamar Miles. He'll be looking for another great game with double-digit tackles.
Last, we have the Duct Tape Boys, led by corner Rod Council.
We mix it up here at Louisville.
The Duct Tape Boys.
Duct Tape Boys.
Explain that one. White fires near side. Raynaud makes the catch and makes a man miss. Darius Raynaud across midfield. He's almost the forgotten man. He's been a key guy for 3 years here, number 2. 20-yard gain. He shows his speed.
Well, he is a former running back, so this is just an extension of the backfield. And this is what the West Virginia offense does so well. They can hurt you inside and outside with Raynaud in the quick pass.
That was Rod Council, the cornerback, who faked out of his jock, and now Slayton around the corner. A flag comes down, and Slayton breaks into the secondary and down inside the 10. But this one may be coming back. He didn't grab him, is what the you can lip read for Rodriguez. It is a hold, though. And we'll see if we can catch the hold. It nullifies a 35-yard run by Slayton.
Holding, number 62 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Junior tackle Ryan Stanchek deemed guilty by the official. You see, you can make your own judgment here. To the left side.
Left side, left tackle gets good body position. All he has to do is drive. I don't think it is. That's a terrible call.
I don't see that as a call there.
That's great footwork by a
excellent body position.
Stanchek's their best guy up front, and he did an awesome job of getting his body in front of him.
Nevertheless, a second major penalty on the Mountaineers crucial. 1st and 20 instead of 1st and goal inside the 10. Steve Slayton's in the slot to the near side. It's a new look. And they'll just run it out of this formation. White takes a big hit in the secondary from Palmer. But a good gain on 1st and 20.
Tackled by Dion Palmer.
It's just not fair. Louisville decides, look, we're going to put a safety in the middle now. You know, we got burned. The guy missed the tackle on the open field. So we're going to put a guy back there. Now, from a number standpoint, with White running the ball, you can block everyone.
Well, this is what's really interesting about the spread offense. When they put Owen Schmidt, that fullback, back there, they can still run the option, but they also have a lead fullback. Now White becomes a tailback following Schmidt in the lane.
Now Schmidt out of the game. 4 receivers, and Slayton next to White on 2nd and 11. Hand it off. Slayton breaks a tackle. Shows some strength to go with that speed. Gets down near the 36 before Malik Jackson stops him. There's Jackson, who's had a troubled year. He was a big year last year. Had 9 sacks for this defense. Only has 1 sack this season. One of the reasons why this Louisville defense has struggled is number 11 has struggled. 3rd and 5. White dropped the football as he was going to throw it. Now takes the safe route and falls on it.
Let me tell you why that's a big play for Louisville. The obvious, yes, on the field, but this is a team that traveled 25 players on defense. And so this hot potato that runs through Pat White's hand really helps this defense get off the field, man. They don't have depth out there tonight.
I think it's the other way around. It's a little bit cool out tonight. The ball might feel a little slick on his hand there, and it just slipped right out.
Yeah,
but like
cold
you said,
hands and hot
down a distance, man. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. They got to make the mistake. West Virginia's going to make the mistake to get themselves off the field. You're not going to stop them.
Made a few mistakes in the early going. A 13-yard loss. Gets the ball back to midfield, and now here's McAfee trying to pin the Cardinals deep. The fair catch made by Trent Guy at about the 15-yard line. So 2 penalties and that drop ball by White. That's what stopped the drive so far. And again, West Virginia really hadn't stopped themselves, or haven't been stopped by other people much this year. They've stopped themselves. You punted less than 30 times as a team. You're doing something right.
Yeah, doing something right. But I go back, you know, the tempo of West Virginia's offense is going to put pressure on Louisville's defense to stay out there and get ready to go. And with not a lot of depth traveling with you, that could be an issue.
Well, Louisville's just got to make the tackle. West Virginia's going to make their plays. Just don't let them get the big one and wait for them to make a mistake to get themselves off the field.
Play action fake down the middle, broke it up. Brom was looking for Barnage, the tight end, and it was a strong play by Eric Wicks dropping into coverage.
The ball just seems to find Wicks. He's got a knack for getting to the ball. He's running with a tight end down the field that Brom says, hey, we got a tight end that can get up the field and make plays for us downfield. Wicks is stride for stride with him.
There's Pat White. Guys are looking at his hand. The trainers checking things out. Maybe that played a role in him just dropping the ball in that last play. White has been knocked out of some games. Jared Brown would be the backup as they hand it off straight ahead. Short gain. Keelan Dykes on the stop. Here's another look at the play, the drop.
I just think over to his right-hand side, he's trying to rotate the ball to get the seams, and the ball just slides out.
This looks like he maybe hasn't broken a sweat yet to get that grip on the ball.
Let's go to Aaron for more.
Yeah, as you guys can see, they're having Pat White grip the football. But now, interesting enough, early in this season, he was dealing with a thumb injury. His most latest injury, guys, has been that chest and shoulder injury he sustained a couple weeks ago. But Coach Rich Rodriguez said as of yesterday, he was doing fine. So that'll obviously be something we keep an eye on.
Sure will. And 3rd and 6, Brown pressured and sacked for just the 15th time this season. Zach Cooper, the backup linebacker on the blitz.
That's the key to stopping Brom. They got him off the field last time in a 3rd and long situation with the blitz and forced him to get rid of the ball quickly. This time they get to him with pressure.
I go back to it again. This is all about down and distance for this offense. They're just not comfortable on 3rd down as a whole. And the scouting report came back to them as real as it could be.
0 for 3 on 3rd down tonight. And Getchy again on to punt. Mountaineers bring pressure. Getchy gets it away. Rivers gambles, catches the ball and gets hammered. He'll lose yardage on the return. And the Mountaineers will start from about their 44-yard line. Defense is doing their job tonight. No points so far in Motown.
Circuit City's Drive to 65 is going on now. We're grand opening 65 new stores nationwide. And to celebrate, we're giving away a Mazda CX-9 every single day for 30 days, plus other incredible prizes. Ask a Circuit City expert for a game piece today for your chance to win a new 7-passenger Mazda CX-9. Winner of the 2008 Motor Trend Sport Utility of the Year Award. And right now at Circuit City, get no interest for 24 months on TVs $4.99 and up with a Circuit City credit card. Don't miss Circuit City's Drive to 65.
With only 2 races to decide it all, NASCAR's one-on-one duel is coming down to the wire.
Jimmy Johnson has driven the wheels off his Chevy.
The defending Cup champ recaptured the points lead at Texas and is on the brink of back-to-back titles. Now, the pressure is on as Jeff Gordon looks to strike back in his drive for a 5th NASCAR crown. The chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup continues Sunday at 3 on ABC. And catch the NASCAR Busch Series Saturday at 4 on ESPN2.
Fear of the unknown is a big issue when handling an accident claim. Maybe you don't know how the insurance works. Maybe you don't know how the law works. That's where we come in. Farah & Farah, protecting you and your family for 25 years.
Overall, living better is simple.
Eat right, exercise, and get enough rest. Not about living longer, it's about living better. And damn it, I deserve to be healthy.
The new Discovery Health, here for you every step of the way. On air, online, on call.
Hi, this is Stu, the satellite dish installer. You know, with a storm like this, all my satellite dish customers are seeing is this. But Comcast Digital Starter customers like me are seeing this. That's free movies, music, and more, and the price is so low. I've got to tell everyone about Comcast Digital Starter. Tomorrow.
Take it from Stu and get Comcast for just $33 a month for the first 6 months. Call 866-554-2312 today.
Mountaineers ranked number 7 in the VCS. They've been there for a few weeks, trying to protect home turf against Louisville. VCS and Big East implications. Mountaineers and their fans know that while other teams may be staring at the finish line in the next couple of weeks, they have a month of football left. 3 games after tonight. 3 out of the final 4 are right here at home. Slayton in the slot for the first time tonight. The Mountaineers start with good field position at their 44. The first down throw. White fires near side, and catching the ball on the slant is Gonzalez. Tito Gonzalez, just his 7th catch of the season. Good for 18 yards.
You know, when you hear coaches around the country say, hey, we'd like to run the wide open, spread open, zone quarterback read, most of them hope they can get a quarterback who can run like White. Then you get a guy that can throw like that.
I mean, that was a legitimate slant route, regular pass play, no read involved there. That was drop back and throw the football.
And right up over the ball, the up-tempo attack that they hope get the defense on its heels and negate the idea of personnel substitutions. It's Slayton. Steve Slayton turns the corner, makes a move, and has a first down near the 25. Council on the stop, 12 yards.
West Virginia wants to play in space with speed. Defense is spread out and bunched up. Tonight you're going to see a secondary that really is a lot of former offensive guys over there playing defense now, and they're just really trying to adjust to angles.
Slayton in the slot on first down. Cardinals show pressure with 3 men up the middle. White follows a blocker, turns the corner, and gets down inside the 10. They bring pressure up the middle, and White goes, I'm going around the corner.
Well, you bring the safety up into the box. You got everybody up in there saying, we dare you to run the ball, and there goes Schmidt leading the way for White.
Big guy, Schmidt. It's like the lead fullback to the outside. Find somebody, big fella.
Oh, he couldn't even find anybody to block.
He did at the end. He found a defensive back that was in the wrong spot.
10 yards down the field.
186-pound corner Johnny Patrick fell to wrath of Owen Schmidt. First and goal. It's Slayton. Slayton, good job with the Cardinal defense. They string him out, dropping for a loss. Malik Jackson.
One of my favorite guys in the country. Fullback, 35, Owen Schmidt. Power cleans 525 pounds, and down the field, he's looking for somebody to put his face mask on.
He's been known to break a few face masks, right?
Yeah. Including his teammate, the linebacker's nose. Hey, this number up here, that's off the charts.
Can't tell from that picture there, but he's got a mohawk now. So it goes with the attitude, I guess, of being a fullback.
He was downplaying his accomplishments in the weight room, right? It's always, I got one big lift, basically. It's Schmidt next to White on second down. Pat White trying to find room. There isn't much.
Pat White on the run.
Oh, Schmidt, though, his linebacker buddy, Mark Magro, had a meeting with us yesterday. He's got the old busted up nose. And we said, where'd that happen from? He goes, well, I hit Schmidt head on in an ISO deal, and my helmet came down and on the bridge of my nose, busted it.
You got to realize they got to go head-to-head every day in practice. You talk about through training camps and everything else. How many times do you think Schmidt's hit him?
There's Magro.
Third and goal from the 7. White still has it. Flips to the end zone. Wide open for a touchdown is Darius Raynaud.
We've been saying how you have to play fast at Louisville tonight. Well, there's 2 phases to it. You got to play fast, and you have to play smart. Pat White with a little lead here coming around to the side. He can run the football. You've got to come up and respect that. You lose secondary coverage.
You know, he had the opportunity. He might have been able to split those defenders to get in the end zone. But you know what? He said, this is just too easy. I'm going to throw it to the back of the end zone and get a touchdown pass. Up my rating.
And Pat McAfee now 41 of 42 on the year PATs. And Raynaud collects his 9th touchdown reception this season. It's a 56-yard drive in 6 plays. He played pretty good defense throughout the whole first quarter. Played excellent defense on the goal line, but then one little slip up when you saw Deion Palmer, the safety, with Raynaud behind him.
Yeah, you know what, and we kind of hit on this just a little bit earlier, but it's one of those situations where Bobby Petrino, the former coach at Louisville, used to recruit a lot of offensive guys, and if they didn't pan out on offense, they went over to defense. And Crackthorpe's like, look here, man, we got some guys in the secondary that are former offensive guys and aren't really good at coming up and knowing how to tackle.
Well, that's kind of a problem, isn't it?
The biggest problem is the mentality of wanting to hit and stick your nose in there, especially in the secondary. Guys coming up and trying to tackle these receivers. You know, a lot of arm tackles, grabbing, reaching, bad angles, things that, you know, look like a quarterback chasing a guy on an interception.
The defensive coordinator not changed. Mike Cassidy has been here, and this is his 4th season. He was the D coordinator under Petrino, stayed under Cragthorpe, but it's been a little bit of a tough year for Cassidy and for his defense for lots of reasons. They had been starting to play much better football the last couple of weeks, giving their offense a chance to win at least.
They're trying to find guys who know how to line up correct. You know, when you see a lot of guys running around right before the snap, and they just haven't been synced up this season.
There's a kickoff by McAfee. It's going to come to Trent Guy near the goal line. He drops it. Guy Finds a little crease. A flag is down. There's a battle going on to the 35-yard line. A little bit of a scrum. Easy, fellas. Another flag comes in as this thing threatens to get out of hand. You mentioned there's not a lot of love between these teams. Only the third year in the Big East for Louisville, but it's built up pretty quick.
Yeah, you can't quite call it a rivalry yet. No. It's just a grudge match for a little while. But the emotion, I think, is going to help Louisville. I think they've got to come out in this drive, show some toughness, and go after it. Brom obviously has it on his shoulder to answer that touchdown drive of West Virginia.
Oh, sort at the penalties here. First, there was kind of a one-on-one battle between a blocker and a coverage guy at the 35. Then some other guys got involved. There may be 2 fouls here.
During the return, holding number 2 on the return team, 10-yard penalty from the end of the play. After the play was over, personal foul on the receiving team, personal foul on the kicking team. The penalty's offset. It will be first down.
So there were 3 flags. Rich Ragland on the hold, and then he'll move things back.
Well, it starts out, looks like it's going to be disaster. Right in here, we go. Got your eyes there in the middle.
2-on-1.
Mug. That's a mugging.
Both of them had a hand on his back. Either one of them independently, it's a hold. Collectively, it was a double hold and just a body slam.
Pat Lazier, West Virginia got double teamed, but the hold sets the Cardinals back at their 15-yard line on 1st and 10. Brom play action. Looking downfield, down the middle, throws into traffic. There were 4 Mountaineers surrounding Douglas.
You know what, those penalties, Coach Rodriguez, he wants hard, tough playing, but he wants smart playing.
Love to see that. Pull your guys back, get them back under control. That last decision by Brom, by the way, going down the middle of the field was not a great decision.
Calmer approach from Craig Thorpe.
Yeah, a few guys running with the receiver down the field and the safeties over the top. There was not too much of a window to put the ball in there.
Boy, Doug, I know he wants to find Douglas, but he's thrown into some traffic. Here's George Stripling getting his turn as a ball carrier. Gets out across the 20. I mean, number 85 has been a productive player, outstanding player, but the Mountaineers are keeping a close eye on him tonight.
You know, Brom went a little play action and wanted to go down the middle, but Wick can run with these receivers. He can come up and play. Wicks comes up to the linebacker position and can run with people down the middle of the field and stay with him.
Manageable down situation in 3rd down. They are, for the season, 50% when it's 3rd and 6 or less. So this is the situation they want to be in here. Gives them more options.
Haven't converted yet on a 3rd down tonight. 0 for 3. Stripling as the back next to Brom. Good protection. Brom fires to Douglas. The ball's loose. Comes loose. West Virginia jumps on it. Ruled a catch and a fumble. Mountaineer football.
On every 3rd down so far, West Virginia's been bringing pressure, bringing a 5, a 6-man rush. This time they changed it up.
Well, they changed it up this time here. They come with the outside, and you've got in-men coming, and you're going to have 3 that drop from the middle of the field. So you're getting more folks in the middle of the field to defend the inside route. Great job of Douglas in finding the ball. Just got to hold on to it.
Nice conversion. Tuck it away and get down. Know when your journey is over, Craig. Find the ground.
So West Virginia at the 25-yard line. White takes a deep drop. And he'll throw over the head of Slayton. Slayton working one-on-one against Preston Smith, the linebacker. Well, NASCAR coverage continues next week in Phoenix. The NASCAR Busch Series on ESPN2 Saturday at 4 Eastern. And the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series at Phoenix on ABC at 3 o'clock Eastern time. It's getting down to it. Teammates Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson. Johnson jumping ahead of Gordon, leading by 30 points as they head to Phoenix. And it'll all wrap up in Miami. 2nd and 10 for the Mountaineers. White keeps it. And navigates for a short game. It'll set up about 3rd and 6 as we head back to the studio for the first time. A 30 at 30 update with Reese Davis.
All right, Chris, one of 2 memorabilia dealers allegedly robbed by O.J. Simpson testified at a hearing on Thursday that Simpson and several other men burst into a hotel room. One of them had a gun and carried off hundreds of collector's items. This hearing just to determine whether the man will be sent to trial. Sports Center after the game. Stay current, ESPN News.
Reese, thank you. 3rd down and 6. White fires over the middle. Incomplete. He was looking for Tito Gonzalez. Now a flag comes in. Rod Council got there a little bit early, says the official.
That's from the other side of the field that flag's being thrown from. Kind of makes you wonder how the heck he saw that all the way across.
Really makes you wonder. Council broke on the ball. It was bang, bang. It might be interference. It's real close. He reaches around, hits it. I think it's a great play. The flag comes from the opposite corner over here somewhere.
Easy, big fella.
Gonzalez didn't even turn to complain about it, did he?
No.
He wouldn't even thinking it was interference. Crucial penalty instead of a field goal attempt. Now the Mountaineers set up at 1st and goal, 9-yard line.
What you think, big boy? Was that interference?
I didn't like the call.
I formation. That's a rarity for the Mountaineers. Schmidt in front of Steve Slayton. White still has it. Fires. Complete. Touchdown, Reynard. Number 2 for number 2.
Twice now the pressure from Pat White on the corner. The threat of running with a fullback in front of him to lead block should he opt for that. Has put a lot of pressure on this Louisville defense, and then you got Reynard, who's a great job at finding the opening. Look at Schmidt in the middle protected.
The quickness of his release and putting the ball on the money. It's just a great threat, runner throw, on the move, pulling up and throwing.
McAfee makes it 14-0. We're used to seeing the Mountaineers piling up huge rushing totals. Only 42 yards rushing so far in this first quarter, 72 passing.
You know what? The ability for Pat White to see it and immediately let it go. Kind of, one of the trademarks of a Matt Ryan. You know what? Matt Ryan, BC, gets rid of the ball quick. Here they are trying to make sure that they limit this. Rich Rodriguez came from the sidelines as well, and he said, hey, get over here, let's go. Let's don't get out of control.
That wasn't out of control. Don't get me started, Flutie. I know you're going to say they should throw a flag on everything.
That's right.
Come on.
Sit them all down.
Fun.
No. Have emotion. Be excited. Jump up and down. Celebrate with your teammates on the way to the sideline. But don't just stand there and parade in the end zone.
Beautiful aerial pictures of this all-gold stadium brought to you by Goodyear. Football's rough. Your commute shouldn't be, so get there in Goodyear Silent Armor technology. 14 points in a minute 56 for the Mountaineers. The Keelan Dykes recovery of the Douglas fumble sets up a 25-yard three-play drive.
Wasn't it Keelan Dykes who said to us about the emotions of this game and the rivalry and all that stuff? Do a little jab at Louisville, didn't he?
Yeah.
Bulletin board material.
Be better if they weren't 5-4, he said.
We cracked up, man.
Oh, he's right, though, isn't he? Yeah. I think they wanted Louisville to come in here 9-0. They wanted to have everything on the line as it was last year when the Cardinals got them down to Papa John's. Louisville coming in here as a spoiler. Now you have to wonder. They haven't played bad football on defense, but they find themselves in a 14-zip hole, and Brom hadn't gotten going yet. There's a good look at our man, Schmidt.
Yeah, that's a real Mohawk.
It's a real man.
Trent Guy at the goal line. And he fights out near the 25 as we get down to Aaron Andrews.
So, Chris, another guy that had hoped Louisville would come in here 9-0 is, of course, their quarterback, Brian Brom, returned this season when he could have gone to the NFL, but his head coach, Steve Crapthorpe, said the biggest reason why he will be successful in the league next year is because of all the adversity he's gone through. And he's also been able to accomplish some things, like been able to manufacture some plays. That's something Coach said he didn't do last year. Brian told us himself he's making decisions faster, he's getting the ball out quicker. And, you know, I just watched him over here on the sidelines, very, very calm, making sure Harry Douglas, his wide receiver, is okay. It's really, really poised over here on the sideline.
Aaron, he'll have to be. Louisville, 5th possession already, haven't marched past their own 45. George Stripling a first down run. Tough one at quarterback when you can't generate much on the ground. Scooter Berry. The stop.
They're a running play on first down that is a positive game. Keeps you in down and distance. Pick up 4 yards there, 3 to 4 yards. That's all right. You just can't come up 2nd and 10. Now 2nd and 7, you can manage that situation.
Final minute of the first quarter. Louisville trying to answer. Hard part about getting into a deficit against the Mountaineers, you got to break serve against their offense to try to get back in the game. Barnage, the tight end, collects it out across the 45. Hangs on, a big hit delivered there by Antonio Lewis.
But you know what, Doug, going back to what Steve Kragthorpe said about Brian Brom and being able to go into a locker room in the NFL, you don't win all the time in the NFL, and so you got to know how to handle adversity and to pick up the team around you.
Especially when you're a top draft choice, you're going to the teams that are picking 1st or 2nd. Unless a great team happens to trade up and needs a quarterback for some reason, chances are you're going to a team that's not going to win right away, and you're going to have to learn to deal with that.
We'll talk more about potential draft prospects for Brom as the night unfolds. In the meantime, on first down, stop for a loss is Stripling. They try a little wrinkle there, and the Mountaineer defense just storms in there. There's our guy Magro, the hometown Morgantown hero. The guy who grew up going to these football games, not watching them necessarily, playing football outside, and then going down and begging for players' gloves after the game.
He's the one that has the bridge of his nose busted up because of Schmidt, you know?
Now, so far, it's the Cardinals getting busted up in Motown, 14-0 for the all gold-clad guys after the first quarter.
The 49ers battle the Seahawks at 8:30 on ESPN Monday Night Football.
What if we took a moment to rethink our priorities? What if we rethink power and what it means to be strong? What if we rethink beauty and what it means to truly interact? What if we took the time to realize that our neighborhood is actually much bigger than we think? At Saturn, we chose to rethink things. That's what makes us who we are, who we've always been. We chose to create 2 of the most affordable hybrids in the country, making it much easier to drive responsibly. We rethought what it means to be protected by offering a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty on all of our vehicles. We even rethought every car we sell, now offering 5 totally new models. Yeah, we may just be a car company, but we're rethinking what a car company can be. Just something to rethink about.
Think it's time I told my little bro my rules to live by.
Rules.
Chop. Always, always get chili on your nachos Bel Grande.
A Taco Bell classic, now topped with chili. New chili cheese nachos Bel Grande, only at Taco Bell.
Comfortable in jeans that are tough. I'm comfortable in Wrangler.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Satisfaction guaranteed. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
So I asked my dad where he wanted to go for his 60th birthday. Norway, he said, the land of our ancestors. We drank a pint at Ibsen's favorite pub. We sampled the local fare. We got new sweaters.
I feel like yodeling.
It was the trip of a lifetime, Dad said, until we went to the Hall of Records and discovered we were actually Swedish. 2 tickets to Stockholm, please?
Whatever your story is, your Citi card can help you write it. Citi, let's get it done.
Chris, got some signs for you to look at?
Nope, seen it before. Never gonna happen?
Let me see that real quick. Sure.
Why don't you knock off a little bit early for lunch, okay?
Do you know Game Day? Go to collegegameday.com to find out. ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, Saturdays at 10 a.m.
Louisville's powerful offense generating just 69 yards in the first quarter. Turnover setting up the Mountaineers for the short field and a 14-0 lead against Cragthorpe's team. Got to make something happen pretty quickly, you get the feeling. Anthony Allen is the tailback to the left of Brian Brom. 2nd and 15. Brom fires over the middle, complete. In traffic, hauling it in is Douglas, who shakes off the fumble and takes the ball down near the 36-yard line. Gain of 23.
When you have a quarterback like Brian Brom, you're never out of a football game. You can always get back into it. And, you know, Doug, you just saw right there a classic example of a quarterback knowing where his receiver was going and waiting till the linebackers got out of position.
He basically threw the ball around the linebacker into the hole, and it's the same throw he tried to make a couple other times. This time, Wicks couldn't stay stride for stride with Douglas. He ended up getting a 2- or 3-step lead on him, and Brom had the big completion. Move the football, do not turn it over, control the football.
Cross midfield for the first time. Brom pressured again and sacked for the 2nd time tonight. Just a short loss. Johnny Dingle, his 7th sack of the season, the leader in that department.
Well, sometimes the eye above can show you exactly what the quarterback's seeing from below, but they're covered up really down the middle of the field. Doubling up, you're going to see in the middle of the field, you're going to see double coverage bracket, nothing there, doubled underneath. One receiver goes down on the ground, and that's been a problem. Inconsistency and dependability from his receivers.
Johnny Dingle's the trash talker in this defense. He said when he makes a play, he wants his teammates to surround him. That's what Rodriguez wants, so he won't talk trash to the other team. On 2nd and 12, it's a screen. Stripling strips away from a tackler, and George Stripling, a first down inside the 20 of the Mountaineers. Poor tackling there. Quentin Andrews finally forcing him out. Screen effective.
Very effective on the screen, and it's for a quarterback. You love these type plays where it's a freebie for you. Get it in your back's hands. Great job in the open field, making a guy miss and getting a positive gain, and you didn't have to work too hard.
Danny Barlow, number 63, the left guard, outside with a fabulous block to clear Stripling, giving him a chance up the field.
Stripling in the I formation. It's Douglas in motion. It is Stripling again. Not much. Scooter Berry off the edge. It'll be a short loss.
A couple of weeks ago, maybe about 3 weeks ago or so, there was the question of whether or not West Virginia's defense was capable or good enough of winning a national championship. And they're quick to say around here, this defense plays a lot better this season because they're playing with confidence, and particularly at the linebacker level.
The talk was that this year they've played more coverage. They haven't come after the quarterbacks as much and as much blitzing and man-to-man. They're playing more coverage, making teams be patient, trying to march the football, and they're creating turnovers.
Yeah, Brom said a lot harder to figure out what the Mountaineers are going to do this year than it was last year, just from watching tape in preparation for this game. Brom steps up, fires for the end zone, touchdown. Gary Barnage, the tight end, his 7th touchdown reception of the season, and the Cardinals a much-needed answer to the Mountaineers' touchdown.
Great job by the big tight end getting down the middle field. Excellent job of patience by the quarterback to wait for it to get open, and a fantastic job by the O-line giving them time to do so.
Brom on that drive, guys, 4 for 4, 82 yards. And Barnage, the senior with whom he has a real connection, middle of the field, takes it in from 18 yards. And conversion is good from Art Carmody. He has now made it 103 consecutive PATs, a record.
All right, let's go back and talk about Cragthorpe on Brian Brom and how he's going to be able to handle adversity when he gets to the next level. But you see his tight end on the other side. Barnage is a real dependable receiver. He's excellent off the line of scrimmage. Great move to the outside. Call that a toast. Gets back to the middle of the field where there's no safety. Now, 4 for 4 on that drive. When you're down 14-0, that's answering the bell for you.
And 2 of them are big-time throws down the middle of the field where you can, you know, it's a little dicey sometimes throwing it in there down the middle of the field, 20 yards up the field.
Not if you're good.
That late hit was a little dicey, too.
I thought it was late. I thought it was late live, but I didn't say anything because, you know, how
Why, you thought he was going to jump on you?
I love to throw those. I thought so, too. That is a great answer, though, from Brom to get back within 7 right away.
And what Aaron was talking about, this guy's not going to panic being down 14-0 on the road. He has a lot of confidence in his ability, the ability of his receivers and his offense.
Yeah.
But it was critical because how many times are you going to stop West Virginia's offense if you fall in a hole?
Aaron told us about Brom on the sidelines and his composure. Be interesting to see what that defense is doing over there and what they're talking about on the sidelines.
Todd Flannery to kick off. Rivers and Raynaud are deep. Line drive kick. Raynaud will have a chance. There is Raynaud. Tough to bring down. He gets across the 30-yard line. Well, Saturday, #1 ranked Ohio State cannot afford to look ahead to the showdown against Michigan. Illinois comes into the Horseshoe. Regional coverage on ABC at 3:30 Eastern Time. We'll see if the Noles, after beating BC, Doug, can get it done in Blacksburg. Texas Tech against Texas, and Arizona State trying to bounce back from the loss at Oregon against a very banged-up UCLA team. Check your local listings, 3:30 Eastern Time.
That Virginia Tech offense last week got going against Georgia Tech, and they got a tough decision to make Friday night. Sean Glennon or Tyrod Taylor at quarterback.
Use them both, I say.
Both. As long as Glennon's doing his thing like he did against Georgia Tech, leave him in there.
Use them both. White on the keeper. Ducks under for about 5.
Why don't we rotate centers every other play too? You know, we'll just flip-flop those guys.
You give that defense a lot to prepare for. And Mickey Andrews' crew, if you have the mobile guy Taylor and Glennon, who played so well at Georgia Tech.
Well, how about Drew Weatherford, though? Florida State goes to Boston College. Weatherford's a guy. I know we've watched Weatherford go up and down in his career.
Yeah.
But I've also seen him have really good games like he did at Boston College last week. He can do it.
That was as good as I've seen him play. He was throwing the ball up the field, putting it on the money, showing composure. He had a great game.
On 2nd and 5, White fakes it to Slate and finds Raynaud. Raynaud gets a little bit of a block, but he'll be pulled down short of the first down at the 40-yard line. What about Ohio State? Any danger you think of the look ahead there? The game at Champaign a year ago was a very tight, low-scoring game. Illinois came close to beating them, but in the Horseshoe, it's a different deal. A young team, Illinois.
Yeah, and it's so late in the season. I don't think Ohio State's going to look ahead. I mean, it's just next week, So, hey, get your job done today.
On 3rd and 1.
I think Mark Mayday, he went with that as the upset alert.
Illinois, well, upset alert's one thing, and calling for the upset. I'm sure they're on alert as White picks up the first down over the left side. They lost 2 undefeated teams a week ago. It was Arizona State and Boston College losing, so now there are just 3. And Kansas has a real challenge in Stillwater, a shootout on ABC in primetime.
Absolutely. That was the game that I said watch out for, because Oklahoma State's a good team, talented team at home. It's a hostile environment. Kansas, but they've been methodical about it, just kind of going about their business.
Well, they had a disastrous record against the Big 12 South in Mangino's tenure before this year, but they've turned around a lot of history in one season in Lawrence. On first down, White keeps it again. Very simple play, lead blocker, gave 5 yards just like that.
That's the amazing thing. Looks like Louisville defended that pretty well. They were up in there. It's a first down run. They pick up 5 yards. I mean, that's good offense.
Noel Devine comes in the ball game, and that's a Peanut Whitehead, the very talented sophomore defensive end from Birmingham. He's one of the blue chip recruits that Petrino brought in. This would be a major loss for a defense that's already depleted by injury and attrition. They really can't afford Peanut Whitehead to go out. Maurice Mitchell, who also plays that position, is really banged up. He's got a shoulder problem, so we'll check their injury to Whitehead. 14-7 Mountaineers.
Why would we build an SUV with magnesium paddle shifters and a 30 gig music and navigation system?
This is your vacation house?
Because for a limited time, get 1.9% APR on the 2007 Mitsubishi Outlander.
I'm a student. I grew up in Philadelphia.
What are you doing, sweetie?
I am texting, Mom. But I go to school in Delaware.
Mitochondrion is the powerhouse of the cell, so you can see that the
My brother goes to school in Prague.
Jak sa máš, Praho?
I got a bunch of friends who study in Chicago. So I need a network that works where I live. A place called Philawera Praga Chicago.
He's back.
Yep.
The new AT&T works in more places like Philaware, Praga, Chicago.
Buy 3, get 1 free, huh?
Yep.
So how much you jacking up the price of the 3 tires to make the 4th tire look free? I gotta ask.
We guarantee the lowest price on every tire we sell.
What's the cost of the 4th tire? Come on.
Buy 3 tires at Pep Boys and the 4th one's free. Any brand, any size for any vehicle. It's almost too good to be true.
So it's free?
Free.
Why does it only say free then, Jack?
Buy 3 and get the 4th tire free at Pep Boys.
Sale ends December 1st.
You know, this has to be my favorite time of the year. That's right. It's Chevy Truck Month.
Most Truck Month offers have been extended into November. Get 0% APR financing for 60 months for well-qualified buyers on the 07 Trailblazer, Tahoe, Suburban, and Avalanche. And just announced, 0% APR financing for 60 months for well-qualified buyers on the 07 Silverado Half-Ton Crew Cab. See your Southern Chevy dealers or visit southernchevydealers.com.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Do they follow you everywhere?
Yeah, they do.
Looks like Matt Kenseth is thinking 5 barbecues for $5.95. That's right, the barbecue is back. Arby's signature roast beef smothered in our own special barbecue sauce served on a toasted sesame seed bun. At 5 for just $5.95, they'll have you saying,
I'm thinking Arby's.
Don't forget, Arby's is open late.
Back in Morgantown, 14-7 Mountaineers. There's Peanut Whitehead. I think he officially he got dinged. You see it right to the right of your screen, the helmet there.
Yeah, just the snap back of his neck, that old stinger in the neck. Down the left shoulder, he could feel it right here. Oh, man, keep your head up.
You see that so often, though. Defensive players colliding with each other. The helmets. This is Noel Devine, the talented true freshman tailback to the left of White now on 2nd and 6. A pretty quiet night so far for Steve Slayton. There's 3 carries, and here is Devine. Very quick himself. He's got a first down to the 45. Malik Jackson on the stop. Devine, 5'8", 170 out of Fort Myers. All world in high school, 6,800 yards, 92 touchdowns.
You know, so you wonder if Steve Slayton does move on to the NFL after this season, the cupboard's not bare.
No.
You know, they've got a guy. Now, the question is, can he handle 20, 25 carries a game?
Well, meanwhile, Pat White says he wants to talk to his buddy, and he'll have a suggestion for him. Why don't you stick around one more year, guy?
Math guy, right? Sudoku.
That's his hobby, right? Yeah. You can explain that
That's
later
how he relaxes and calms down a little bit.
On first down, this is Schmidt. Owen hours ahead for
He's going to
about
get a little nervous if Slayton takes off.
Well, we go to the meeting yesterday, you know, and Peanut's out there walking away. Well, that last play, though, whenever he got hit, you can hear it. Listen in on it.
Hear that plastic helmet to helmet. Whitehead heading for the locker room. 2nd and 6. Short gain for Slayton. Jackson on the stop.
Pat White, don't you enjoy? I mean, enjoy it. His personality starts out. You think he's maybe quiet and bashful. He's not bashful. Says he talks more smack on the field than anybody.
Yeah, his teammates say he's not that quiet on the football field. I think he's kind of shy off the field.
Well, he says he waits for them to start it, but then he'll finish it. He's not going to initiate, but if someone wants to talk with him, he'll talk right back.
On 3rd and 5, White rolls out, throws downfield, has a man. Leaping catch by Raynaud at the 10. Raynaud beat Bobby Buchanan for 31 yards. He's holding his leg. What a night for Darius Raynaud so far.
Well, Raynaud here, seeing the ball in the air, making the adjustment, coming back to it. Watch how he comes down. Oh, left leg, just kind of like a hyperextension there when he came back. Man, Slayton comes out with a block that gives the corner to Pat White and allows the time for Raynaud to get down the field.
He hit Jamar Miles, the linebacker. Again, keep an eye on the left knee here.
Oh, what a great job of going up for the football, though, and turning and seeing the ball in the air, reacting to it in the air. like I said, with this offense, and Pat White running it the way he runs and takes off, and Slayton the way he takes off.
Raynaud is on his feet. That's a good sign, but he's walking very slowly. The guy who's scored both of the Mountaineer touchdowns tonight.
To be able to throw the ball the way they're throwing the ball as well just makes it unstoppable.
It's first and goal. Slayton and Schmidt flanking White. Slayton's got it. They're all over Steve Slayton tonight. He hasn't come close to really breaking through. Did have the long run nullified by the holding penalty earlier. But Slayton now 5 carries for 15 yards. That's it.
Well, Wes Lyons will go in and play a little wide receiver. He's a young receiver at 6'8". Big tall guy down here in the red zone. Get the ball up in the air. Top of your screen.
Handoff in the middle. Check it. White kept the ball. Stopped at the 5.
Man, is there any doubt that that dude's trying to get to the goal line in the end zone when he's in there, Pat White?
I'll tell you, they're taking away the initial run by Slayton, forcing White to pull the ball and become the runner. White handled the ball 19 out of the first 22 snaps of this game, and Slayton's not getting his touches because the defense is taking him away first.
Third and goal, empty backfield. Schmidt is a tight end. Left the formation. White fighting down near the goal line. Stopped at about the 1. It'll be 4th and goal. Brandon Cox on the stop, and the crowd is yelling for the Mountaineers to go for it. There's an injured Cardinal in the end zone. That's what the delay is. What do you think? Go for it here?
I think at home up 14-7, confidence in your offense against their defense. But I got to tell you, man, Louisville's defense is playing a lot faster today than you would have thought.
Brandon Cox, the defensive end, is being looked at by the training staff.
But this is the type of drive you want to make West Virginia execute. You want them to have to march the ball down the field. It's been 11 plays for 68 yards, and wait for them to make the mistake, whether it's a penalty, a turnover, a sack, something to cause a negative play to stop the drive. You just got to keep them from getting those big chunks of 40 yards.
Rodriguez's team hasn't made the mistake, though, in this drive.
Taking it down, now it's a 4th and 1 situation, and I would say they're going for it.
All right, while we wait and see what's going on here, the Applebee's weekend menu. We talked about these games. Auburn, Georgia, the great rivalry between the hedges.
That SEC East is kind of messed up over there, isn't it? Jumbled up.
Tennessee still controls its destiny. White in the game, so they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. Popular decision. Ball outside the 1-yard line.
I think I'd find a way to get behind number 35, Mr. Schmidt.
Well, they are in an I formation, so you can run a lead now with Schmidt up front of him.
260 pounds of fullback lined up in front of Slayton. Slayton walks in. Mountaineers answer the answering touchdown by Louisville. Doug, you said it, very well executed. 12-play drive, almost 6 minutes.
No mistakes. The way to be sure to get the ball in Slayton's hand, put a fullback in there and a tight end, and now we can give it to him no matter what.
McAfee makes it 21-7. Now we'll see if Brom and the Cardinals can answer once again. Tough to break serve against this offense. First touchdown for Slayton tonight.
did we give the new Eclipse a 263 horsepower MyVec V6? Because for a limited time, get a $2,000 factory rebate on the 2007 Mitsubishi Eclipse.
It's amazing what we can do.
This is Mike and Mike in the morning.
Can't believe we've run out of time.
Can we keep going?
You need more than an HD TV to experience all this in high definition. You must have ESPN HD, ESPN2 HD, and ABC HD. The only way to get them is by upgrading your cable or satellite service to include high definition. Olivia is an official sponsor of ESPN HD, ESPN2 HD, and ABC HD.
Introducing a world first, Braun Pulsonic. Thousands of micro-vibrations help expose and shave more hair with every stroke for Braun's most thorough shave ever. Braun Pulsonic, voted best electric shaver.
Disciplined investing. It isn't about star fund managers. At T. Rowe Price, it's about experienced investment teams that stay the course. It's the same way we've managed investments for over 70 years. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
His many names are known throughout the world, but what isn't known is the name of his brother.
Fred? Freddie. Fred!
Vince Vaughn, Paul Giamatti, Fred Claus.
My man Freddie.
Rated PG.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, driven to thrill, and Olivia, award-winning high-definition television.
Nice fall afternoon, folks. Behaving themselves, going to class, doing what you're supposed to do. Then you get over to the football stadium at night, and it gets a little gnarly, a little different scene in here.
The atmosphere here can get pretty rowdy in a hurry. I've learned that from experience.
21-7. It's been the Pat White show as a ball carrier and a passer. 2 touchdown passes to Raynard, and we'll check and see what his status is. Meantime, the kickoff is a short pooch kick. Fielded at about the 25. One of the up men, Brock Boland, in a very short return. So Brom and the offense, after that really crisp touchdown drive a few minutes ago, suddenly they're right back in a 14-point hole.
And they had a couple of real nice shots down the middle of the field, so we'll see if West Virginia makes an adjustment to get back and to read the routes that they're running up the middle of that field.
Barnage, the tight end, has caught 3 balls. Harry Douglas has 4 catches tonight. It's really been those 2 receivers. Mario Urrutia has been injured and had a troubled junior season, has been shut out so far. Stripling in the backfield as Brom drops back and fires very short over the middle. Going to the ground to catch the ball is Scott Long, his first catch tonight. Aaron, by the way, tells us from the sidelines the Raynard appears to be okay, and that's good news for the Mountaineers, to say the least.
He's been a big threat in the passing game, and he's their downfield threat as a receiver and on those bubble screens when he gets that ball in his hands.
Here's Urrutia bringing the play in, Craig. This is a guy with a lot of talent. He's a big 6'6" receiver, a homegrown guy, but hasn't been very productive this year by his standards. Missed a lot of action. They really need him to make this offense top shelf. There's a short pass over the middle to Stripling. The back is about 2 yards short of a first down. Magro combining with Reed Williams on the stop.
And when you watch Urrutia run his routes and you talk about his health and everything, he's had a turf toe. And you can see clearly in some of his routes where he can't quite plant, dig, and come back for balls.
You know, going vertical, he'll be able to sprint a little bit, take off, maybe go up for the ball. But like you said, it's the planning and turning and cutting off. And it's just specific directions.
When you take him out of the game on 3rd and 1, 4 receivers, and number 7 is not one of them. They hand it off inside to Stripling. He's stacked up. Morty Ivy combining with Williams. We'll see the spot. They may have given him enough progress that it's a first down.
And no surprise.
Pretty generous.
Yeah, very generous spot there. Left side of the Louisville offensive line, Bussey, Barlow, Wood, that's the strength. Those are their best players over there. Not surprised they go left, and West Virginia's well aware of that.
Eric Wood, 3-year starter, junior center out of Cincinnati.
Their whole offensive line as a whole do an excellent job, whether it's run blocking, pass blocking. They are sound up front.
They do get the first down. Keep an eye on this. I don't know if Stripling actually got to where they spotted that ball.
He did. There you go. Right there. Okay, mark it there. That's it.
Craig, you carry the ball. Can you do that? Can you be laying on the ground for a few seconds and place it out there like that?
You can do anything you want, but they should bring the ball back.
You can do it tonight.
That's the first time they picked up a first down on the ground tonight. They only have 10 yards rushing. First down throw. Wow. Had plenty of time, and now he's forced out and ended up picking up 2 yards before Magro makes the tackle. Good coverage.
Excellent coverage downfield. Everything was taken away from him. Good job by Brom, at least making some positive yards.
Can you see the nose there, the bridge of the nose? Magro is, I mean, there you go. You see the blood in there. It's opened up again tonight. Fowler, you jinxed him. You told him he needed cosmetic surgery. His teammate Schmidt, he was not apologetic on the couch, was he?
Not at all. No, it's part of football. he's kind of like he's on fire. The cut's just going to get opened up every game, isn't it? You can't stop the bleeding. Making heavy contact out there. Throw short. Barnage, another catch. And they're not going to give him first down yardage. Aaron?
Chris, I had a chance to speak with Mark Magro's father, Philip, tonight in the stands, and you mentioned how Mark grew up only 5 minutes away from the stadium here, and his father said he would bring him to the games at a very young age and say, hey, let's watch this game together. And Mark would rather go out and play in the mud and then, like you said, afterwards go grab wristbands. His dad says he can't believe it's coming to an end. Mark has played since he was a true freshman. He says it's almost over, and he just doesn't even want to think about it.
They said the career's gone past. The 3rd and 1. Stripling. I'm not going to give him first down yardage on that spot. Great job by the Mountaineer interior lineman Johnny Dingle filling, and then Williams came in, and there's a trash talker, gets a lecture.
Yeah, you almost don't want to get in that 3rd and short because your running game is struggling so much, and Louisville's tempted to go for it here on 4th.
I don't think you can do it. You got to punt the football way too early. With West Virginia being so efficient on offense right now, and Louisville's defense not doing that bad.
Because West Virginia is so efficient offensively, if you have opportunities to convert 4th and short, I would pick some opportunities
you changed
to go
stances
for it.
on me twice right there.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did.
I might have gone for it there.
Ron Rivers makes the fair catch. They punt West Virginia back to the 11-yard line. Johnny Dingle likes to celebrate. And the official telling him, young man, that's crossing the line. Be careful, I'm going to flag you next time.
Why would we put a Sport Tune suspension and magnesium paddle shifters on a Lancer? And a lap?
Let's do it.
Because the all-new rally-inspired Mitsubishi Lancer.
Circuit City's Drive to 65 is going on now. We're grand opening 65 new stores nationwide. And to celebrate, we're giving away a Mazda CX-9 every single day for 30 days, plus other incredible prizes. Ask a Circuit City expert for a game piece today for your chance to win a new 7-passenger Mazda CX-9. Winner of the 2008 Motor Trend Sport Utility of the Year Award. And right now at Circuit City, get no interest for 24 months on TVs $4.99 and up with a Circuit City credit card. Don't miss Circuit City's Drive to 65.
What's the story? We have a new plan going into motion.
Tomorrow, Lions for Lambs is certain to be the most controversial and talked about film of the year. An astounding political thriller. 4 stars.
No lifeguards watching anymore.
The most exciting movie of the year. You won't be able to turn away. Lions for Lambs. Rated R. A Robert Redford film. Worldwide tomorrow.
With 2 races to decide it all, Jimmy Johnson is on the brink of back-to-back titles. Now, the pressure is on Jeff Gordon to strike back in his drive for a 5th NASCAR crown. The NASCAR Nextel Cup Series, Sunday at 3 on ABC.
This week on Countdown, Marion Barber's bruising running style. Find out his secret and how to slow down this rookie sensation.
You take away the #1 threat on the offense, or you try to control it.
Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Mountaineers up by 14. West Virginia certainly the preseason favorite in the Big East. Maybe the slight nod over Louisville, and they still have control of their destiny. But Connecticut sitting there at 4-0. What about Connecticut and Cincinnati? That's an important game before Huskies come here to Morgantown. Can they get that done at Cincinnati?
At Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It'll be a tough one. That you know, UConn's playing well. The plus turnover in the turnover department doing extremely well, but so is Cincinnati. This will be a hard game for UConn.
Things change fast in the conference. USF, you saw in a tie for last place after being #2 in the country a few weeks ago. White fires on first down over the head of Brandon Hogan. They've scored touchdowns each of their last 3 possessions. Let's check with Reese in the studio.
All right, Chris, Pontiac Performance halftime report. We've got the home away from home theater working since we just have one game to focus on. Lou's going to pep up the Pokes. Mark will tell you who's on and off the mark, and we'll have the latest on O.J. Simpson. But quite frankly, I think Lou looks like he needs a pep talk right now. Men, we're going to knock on their door and tell them that we'll be ready for them at halftime. Let's go.
He's allowed to relax. I know Coach will be ready when the light goes on. Kickback, why not? They have ottoman there. Did you see that?
Mayday's in the ottoman.
I like that. A couch with an ottoman.
Yeah. That's a great studio idea.
We don't even have a stool up here to sit. Well, Devine and the freshman joining Slayton in the lineup on that play.
Talk about explosive. He is so quick. He's as fast as he is quick. He's a little guy that makes you miss.
A big play here for the Louisville defense, guys, on 3rd and 8. If they can get the Mountaineers off the field some time before halftime for Braun to work with. And they sack White. Pat White hammered off the edge. Earl Heyman combining with Maurice Mitchell.
Well, there you go, Craig. I was wrong. You don't go for it because you got to stop finally after 3 straight touchdowns by West Virginia.
Well, hey, Louisville's defense, rushing 4, dropping coverage, right side of your screen. Capers the right tackle, can't quite hold on, and the speed guy, Maurice Mitchell, he is their best guy off the edge.
Guy's playing hurt. Again, Peanut Whitehead, who's the starter tonight, went out injured, and Mitchell trying to tough it out with his shoulder injury. Gets his 2nd sack of the season. So the Mountaineers will have to punt. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Football's rough. Your commute shouldn't be. So get there in Goodyear's silent armor technology.
Think that blimp will take us out of here through the traffic jam after this game?
Boy, if there's a way they could pick us up, that would be just awesome. Well,
how you gonna get out?
Open for pretty good field position. McAfee is back in his own end zone. Two steps in the rugby punt. Fielded at the 40 by Douglas. Give Harry Douglas a chance at punt returner. That's an unusual duty for the star receiver. 48-yard punt. McAfee's done well tonight. Not much of a return.
Not just that, he pinned him on the sideline with a directional punt within a yard of the sideline. A lot of times when you do that, you wind up kicking it out of bounds and losing an extra 10 yards or losing 10 yards. He pinpointed that. That's an exceptional punt.
They were ready for it. They had a couple of returners on that half of the field, but he placed it right down there on the sideline. So let's see what Braun can do. 2:16. Ball at the 41-yard line.
There's a guy with a tie that showed up. He didn't student. Excellent job. Blue shirt, great tie.
He didn't get the memo.
Nope.
Braun fires. Look for Barnage. Incomplete. Good coverage over the middle by Morty Ivy.
You know, this crowd, Chris, I was starting to say a while ago, it's not been as loud. This crowd hasn't been crazed yet. I mean, it really hadn't gotten into it here. You got a 2-minute drill going. You'd think that home team crowd would be up a little bit more.
All right.
Think that'll get him going, huh?
He's fired up.
That was your pep talk to the crowd?
Well, you know, you got a guy in a blue tie, and you got, you know. There they go.
I got to check my cell phone.
Text messages.
That's 2 faux pas. The tie and the checking the text messages. Brown over the middle. There's Urrutia, his first catch of the night. Mario Urrutia earns the corner inside the 45. So the 6'6" receiver has had a quiet year. They need him.
West Virginia's playing some soft zone right now, backing up. A lot of these underneath routes, been coming up and striking the receiver for 5- and 6-yard gains. In the last 2 plays, there's been a little more cushion, probably because it's a 2-minute situation.
Urrutia came back against Pittsburgh, made 4 catches, but only for 37 yards as he's still bothered a bit by that turf tail, still not 100%. 14-yard gain. Stripling is the back on first down. It's a screen. Stripling needs a block on the corner and gets one. George Stripling into the secondary, down the sidelines, into the end zone. No, they'll spot him out. They'll spot him out. A football, a Nerf football came flying out. It's not a flag. It's a yellow football. And Stripling, I thought he was headed for the end zone. They'll spot him just short.
How about Charlie Stubbs, offensive coordinator, with a great call? You know what? I mean, you're coming up and you've been throwing the ball. You've got a defense that's backing up and they're covering. They're being soft. And you have perfect execution by the offensive line up front. Watch your offensive lineman get to the outside. 78, big right guard, Giacomini. Stripling, wow. Great block by the tight end, 81, Scott Kuhn.
Stubbs talked about his running backs by committee, and they do certain things well. Obviously, Stripling is their screen back. That's the 2nd time.
His foot hit the pylon. You saw the foot of Stripling hit the pylon. They're going to review this.
Ruling on the prior play is under review.
Going to see where the football was. His foot definitely hit the pylon before it went out of bounds.
Well, there was another football floating around the 3-yard line at the end of this play.
Inbounds so far, inbounds. Oh, man, touchdown.
I'm saying it's 6.
Touchdown, that's 6. 6 from here.
I thought so live. They spotted him out inches short, but foot on the pylon, the ball right there on the plane. Another look.
Stays in bounds. That looks like a touchdown. That is a touchdown.
And I tell you what, if the ball does go on the 1-yard line, Louisville's not real happy about trying to get it in from the 1 with their running game and the short yardage situation so far today. It's important that this is called a touchdown to them.
He hits the pylon there with his foot. Ball's inside. Touchdown. It's over.
It's over. It's over.
Come on back, guys.
It's over. Okay, ball game. Let's go home.
Get back out. Let's go, ref.
How about his foot looked like he was going to plant it about 6 to 8 inches out of bounds, and he just pulled it back in at the last second.
I'll use a little technology here to give you a zoomed in look at the foot and the pylon. Boom. Don't really see it hitting out of bounds until
that's an amazing
after it hits the pylon.
And the ball is in front of him at the time this happens.
Yeah. Okay, he switched it at the last minute, holding the ball out front.
Trying to find out where that ball is.
Yeah. But it looked like he held the ball out in front of him.
Yep.
They may not have enough to overturn this.
But at worst, the ball should be a heck of a lot closer than the 1 yard. That's a touchdown.
I think it broke the plane from that angle.
That one there as well.
Brom, meanwhile, guys, has completed 10 of his last 11 passes. It's been important because they haven't been able to run the football. Brom has gotten sharp in this 2nd quarter.
You know, you see a lot of players that play fast, but they're out of control. How about the control of Stripling there, playing fast?
After review, the play stands is called on the field.
All right.
Wow.
Not indisputable.
Okay, but at worst, he stepped out of bounds there right at the pylon, correct?
I don't know. I had him scoring.
I had him in too. I mean, that ball's almost all the way out to the 1 yard line right now.
Do you think it makes a difference with the way they run the football?
Absolutely.
I know this. I do something opposite of that left side of the line. I do a counter. I do something that's different. I would decide.
Quarterback sneak it 3 times in a row. Or 1.
That's in.
No signal yet.
He's way in the end zone.
Finally, it's been a hard-earned touchdown for the Cardinals. We thought he had it to play before. Brom plows across the goal line, and that's a very quick answer, an important answer by Louisville to cut into this West Virginia lead before halftime.
And you know what? If you're right now, Steve Cragthorpe, you ought to be over there talking to your defense saying, fellas, get ready because Pat White's got a lot of time on this clock. Let's don't blow the momentum we got.
Right, that was a great job with the Cardinals defense. They didn't go for it near midfield, pinned it back, 3 and out, boom. And now there's still a minute 48 before halftime for West Virginia to work with. Carmody automatic. Cragthorpe's unit hanging in there on the road in a tough environment, playing the role of spoiler against an opponent that has a lot more to play for tonight than they do.
That was a great job of just taking it down the field, answering the score. The problem is the clock. Now you're going to see a different type of 2-minute offense by West Virginia.
A different type of way to watch this football game, guys. ESPN Digital Cinema. They're watching this thing in movie theaters. They've sold tickets, $9 a piece. A few theaters here in Morgantown, like the Carmike Morgantown 12. Are they cheering that shot of Brom? Or just the fact that they're hanging out together watching the game? It's also going on in Louisville. A few theaters where fans have come together and watching our feed in the theater.
So you don't have to have a sellout to have a movie out then, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, kind of.
No, I don't know what you're saying.
You know, you have to have it. You know, you can open the theaters, even though maybe there's a couple of seats left. It's a nice crowd tonight, but you have the option. You can go to the movie house. You can come to the real house.
Yeah, I guess so. If your team's on the road, you can go to the movie theater instead of sitting at home and watching it on TV.
There you go. You're coming around.
I guess that's the idea.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I was still trying to wrap my head around it myself, but I think you got it.
What do you think, EA?
Get there.
You're with me, EA, aren't you?
Flannery, the kickoff. Trying to create some room here as a flag comes down. There's Noel Devine. He's right down out of bounds, and now another flag comes in. There's an early flag and a late flag on this return. Okay, to be continued.
During the return, holding number 56 on the return team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down.
I guess 2 flags for 1 holding penalty against Emory.
Now, if you ever get confused, Chris, and you're in the city and you're looking for something to do in an midweek game somewhere in there, you can always go and you can check right there. Cards versus West Virginia. It's one of the deals.
I saw this one. I saw Dan in real life. That's Steve Carell's movie.
Should you watch this one first?
Game plan. It could be confusing for the football fan. You got a game plan and you got a football game.
What's the game plan?
I hadn't seen that yet.
You have to ask the coaches.
Moving with a rock. Oh.
Minute 43 to work with. Not very good field position, and a conservative call for Rodriguez on first down as White gets about 2 yards.
Now with 2 timeouts, do you use them on defense here?
Well,
I know it's scary.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey. You call timeout. That conservative play right there that Pat White ran, how many times have we seen them take off? Yeah. You got one of your behind-the-scenes numbers about long runs of over 40 yards.
No, they've got a lot of ugly numbers on defense. You wouldn't think they would gamble and try to get the stop here, but they have been playing pretty good. Good job defending Slayton on the run. Preston Smith on the stop, and the crowd, listen to the boos. I don't care if you're number 7 in the BCS and you're up a touchdown. They want to see a more aggressive approach.
Remember several weeks ago now against Maryland, West Virginia going in, a couple boom, boom, boom plays, and they're in right before half.
Yeah.
And running plays just like we just seen that break, and all of a sudden they're gone.
I know how dangerous they are, but on 3rd and long, I would take a risk calling a timeout and try to get the ball back into Brom's hand.
Neither team interested in stopping the clock at this point. They'll run the play clock down on 3rd and 8. Snap here with 1 second to go. Give it to Slayton. Now, More booing from the crowd. There's a tough crowd here on their own team. We're used to seeing hostility toward the visitors. Now they're getting after Coach Rod. And Louisville will now take a timeout, stop it with 20 seconds, and force the Mountaineers to punt. Slayton just 17 yards on 9 carries. Folks, so Glum still up a touchdown here.
I've started research that could lead to a cure for Alzheimer's.
I'm helping a West Virginia family get a new start.
I started bringing people together to turn ideas into action, and I haven't stopped since.
Our search for new pulsars
started a journey that could lead anywhere.
Well, Louisville elected not to use their timeouts. They've still got one, but not much time to work with after this punt by McAfee. Did have pretty good field position. Douglas and Guy back. Again, it's the rugby punt from McAfee. This one not nearly as long. It'll bounce and roll dead, but this will also wind the clock down. That punt took 13 seconds, and that's all Brom will have to work with now. 7 on the clock from the 41-yard line. 44 yards on the punt. If they trusted the defense more, and if West Virginia weren't so dangerous, they could have used some timeouts on defense and had more to work with.
It's a scary proposition. I mean, you know, Slayton or White can hit a crease and be gone 80 yards in a flash. So it's dangerous. But once you got him in a 3rd and long situation, I think I might have taken that chance.
Carmody, very reliable kicker. One timeout. They'd have to make a very quick completion downfield to give him a chance. And they'll flip it short to Stripling. And Stripling will be stopped for a loss. And that'll be the final play of this first half. Louisville actually outgains the Mountaineers 206 to 184. But it's the home team with a 7-point lead as we send it back to Reese, Mark, and Lou for the Pontiac Performance halftime report. Guys.
All right, Chris, entertaining first half, perhaps not as entertaining as the fans of Morgantown had hoped at the end. What did you think about the close to the vest style at the end?
Well, I thought that they were very conservative going into halftime, but for the fans to boo Rich Rodriguez, I couldn't believe that after what he's done. I think he kind of knows what he's doing as a
won a lot there.
He's up by 7 points. Shame on you.
You wouldn't boo Rodriguez.
I don't think you ought to boo the coach ever.
No, of course you don't.
The player.
And on that note, coming up with a Pontiac Performance, I'll boo that. Pontiac Performance halftime report. On the mark, you bet Navy was. We'll tell you who else was and who was off the mark on this past weekend. Headed into our 2nd week in November, and somebody needs a little love. Somebody needs a little pick-me-up. Somebody needs a pep talk, and it's not the Longhorns.
The 49ers battle the Seahawks at 8:30 on ESPN Monday Night Football.
A couple of my guys said we could start small with SAP software and add on later. I love my guys.
Tools have evolved. The new lithium Ryobi 1 Plus tools work at full power twice as long with a battery that fits all your other 1 Plus tools. Ryobi 1 Plus. Pro features, affordable prices. You'll find them only at the Home Depot.
The SAP solution my mid-sized company needs can be up and running quickly? Don't toy with me.
Someday, Rutgers is going to challenge for the Big East title.
USF is going to compete for bragging rights in FLA.
Someday, Louisville's going to join the Big East and become a national power.
Someday, the Big East will go 5 for 5 in bowl games.
Cincinnati and UConn, they're going to surprise some people.
Syracuse and Pitt will build on their great traditions.
Someday, West Virginia is going to be one of the best teams in the country.
Go on an NBA road trip with the NBA League Pass early bird offer.
See the new-look Celtics in the East, and who will challenge the Spurs, Suns, and Mavericks in the West.
Oh, that is special!
Follow your favorite out-of-market teams and players. Experience the intensity of NBA basketball at home or online with NBA League Pass broadband. NBA League Pass on Comcast Digital Cable is just $159 for a limited time. To order and save $20, call 1-888-COMCAST. Get NBA League Pass now.
Hi, this is Stu, the satellite dish installer. You know, with a storm like this, all my satellite dish customers are seeing is this. But Comcast Digital Starter customers like me are seeing this. That's free movies, music, and more, and the price is so low. I've got to tell everyone about Comcast Digital Starter. Tomorrow.
Take it from Stu and get Comcast for just $33 a month for the first 6 months. Call 866-554-2312 today.
This is the Pontiac Performance Halftime Report.
West Virginia up by 7 on Louisville at the break. Mountaineers trying to keep pace with UConn in the Big East. Mayday, how about this week's On the Mark and Off the Mark? Let's start with the positive. Who's on the mark?
The Arkansas running backs. Darren McFadden, run DMC, run. 321 yards. That's right against the South Carolina defense, Coach. Yes, they're a great pass defense, but they can't stop the run. Let's not forget about Felix Jones. He also added 166 yards. 487 yards on the ground between the two on 47 attempts, over 10 yards a carry. Coach, you can't stop these two, the dynamic duo. Also on the mark, Navy. After 43 years, Paul Johnson getting it done. Navy, this team was undermanned, undersized, but they out-coached Notre Dame in this football game. After 43 years, they get the job done. On the mark is the Navy defense stopping Notre Dame right here, and the Navy offense for scoring enough points in this game and winning the game. Congratulations, Navy. Also on the mark, the Oregon pass rush. How about this? Against an undefeated Arizona State, Rudy Carpenter, a quarterback, they came up with 9 sacks. Nick Reed, the defensive pass rushing specialist, had 3.5 sacks in this ball game on the season. Mike Pilati's crew has 29.5 sacks. Getting it done is the Oregon front 7 getting to the quarterback, getting sacks. 9 sacks against Arizona State.
Take a trip to negative town. Who's off the mark?
Off the mark, could you believe it could be Notre Dame? Is it a possibility?
No.
Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. Charlie, decide on the quarterback. Which one is it going to be? Is it going to be quarterback A, B, or C? Now you're back to quarterback B again. Clausen's going to start this week. This is a team that can't score, that can't run, that can't pass, that can't stop the run. This team is 1-8. Notre Dame, Coach Holtz, what do you say about that? Also, off the mark. Ohio State, you know, they're the #1 run defense, #1 scoring defense, #2 pass defense, #1 total defense. But 118th in kickoff returns. Jim Tressel, what are you doing? Next to dead last in returning kicks with all those athletes. The #1 team in the nation, 10-0. Off the mark. Get it done, Ohio State. Also off the mark, Oklahoma State. Mac Brown told his team at halftime playing against Oklahoma State, they got the lead, but they're exactly who we think they are. They're going to collapse in the second half, and that's what they do. Oklahoma State collapses against Texas in the second half. Every time they play them, no matter how many points they're up at halftime, Texas finds a way to come back. Oklahoma State off the mark.
Third time in the last 4 years that the Cowboys have coughed up big-time leads. If you're a coach and you have, I know it's different guys, but you have a similar circumstance rear its head in a program. What do you do about it?
Well, it's a game of momentum, and when you have a lead and all of a sudden you see it start to dissipate, you have an obligation as a head football coach to find a way to move the football on offense. You have to have some trick plays, you have to have some momentum switchers, but you've got to get your defense off the field, and you can't just say, we got enough points, this is going to win it. In addition to that, you also have to be able to control the clock. I see so many times people will throw the ball away and call timeout and set it, and then all of a sudden they lose in the last 10 seconds. But I think the most important thing, do not count on your defense to stop the other team. Count on your offense to get your momentum back and get points on the board. And I want to say this, how can Navy be on the mark and Notre Dame be off the mark?
Navy beat Notre Dame the first time in 43 years.
It's pound on. I want to tell you.
That was a no-brainer.
You're going to have a big mark right there.
With a bullseye?
Yeah.
Saturday, College Game Day, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Powerhouses all went out. Who should get a title shot? Desmond's Heisman tour will continue with Run DMC, and it's the end of an era. A look back at some of the greatest moments ever. The old Horseshoe in Little Havana, the end of the era through the Orange Bowl and the Canes. College game day, 10 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday with Chris Lee, Kirk, and Desmond. We've still got a second half not too far away from Morgantown. Nobody touched Steve Slayton. Maybe didn't want to mess up that fashion statement he's making. Mountaineers up by 7.
The Pontiac Performance Halftime Report is powered by Pontiac, the official performance machines of the NCAA.
Welcome to the new shape of fast. Introducing the new Pontiac G6 GXP Street Edition. Pontiac, designed for action.
Okay, accessibility. So you have an urgent package ready to go. Well, just drop it in UPS Dropbox. They're everywhere. Or log on to ups.com and schedule a pickup. Or take it to your nearest UPS store. Or you can hand it to any UPS driver and they can take it from you. It's not just accessibility, it's accessibility with UPS.